Have you ever had one of those moments where you realize two completely unrelated ideas are actually the same thing? Well, get ready for a big one. We're about to dive into this incredible story about how an ancient Greek philosopher and a modern data engineer, separated by 2,300 years, somehow ended up drawing the exact same blueprint for reality. It's a wild story that all starts with one simple but really powerful question.
So think about this for a second. In a world where everything is constantly changing, people move, businesses change, stuff gets old, how do you keep track of what something is? What's the anchor in that whole sea of change? It's a puzzle people have been trying to solve for literally thousands of years.
All right, so here's our roadmap. We're going to start with that ancient puzzle. Then, we'll check out Aristotle's original blueprint for how reality is put together. After that, we'll jump forward in time to a modern data system that basically rediscovered the whole thing by accident. And then, we'll see how they connect, why it's such a big deal, and how you can use this to get a totally new perspective on, well, everything.
Okay, so our story has two main characters. One is a philosopher walking around ancient Athens. The other is an engineer in the 1990s. They're separated by more than 2 millennia, but they were both, believe it or not, obsessed with solving the exact same problem.
So on one side, you've got Aristotle. He was trying to create a filing system for, everything in the universe. On the other side is Dan Linstead, who was just trying to build a corporate database that could handle a business constantly changing without completely falling apart. One guy was cataloging reality, the other was cataloging customer data. But at their core, they both needed a way to separate what a thing is from all the stuff that happens to it.
So let's start with Aristotle. And don't worry, this isn't going to be some dry, dusty philosophy lecture. Think of this as the most practical guide ever written for just organizing the world. He was basically trying to take an inventory of existence itself.
To get your head around this, philosophers have this great analogy, the furniture of the world. It's simple, right? Before you can make sense of a room, you have to know what kind of stuff is in it. Is a chair the same kind of thing as the color red? Is a relationship the same kind of thing as a person? Aristotle's answer was a clear no. He said we have to sort the furniture into different categories.
The first and most important piece of furniture is what he called substance. This is the thing itself, its unique identity. Not a person, but this specific person. Not a mug, but this particular mug. It's the anchor that everything else hangs on. You can't just have the quality blue floating around in space. You need a blue thing. The substance is the who or what that everything else happens to.
Next up is relation. Now, this category isn't about one thing on its own. It's all about the connections between things. A customer purchased a product. An employee works for a company. Aristotle saw that these connections were their own fundamental type of furniture, totally separate from the things they connect.
And finally, we get to accidents. And no, not like a car accident. In philosophy, an accident is any property that can change without destroying the thing's core identity. Your hair color, your address, the location of your car, these are all accidents. The person remains the same person, even if their properties change. The substance endures.
Okay, now let's hit the fast-forward button. We're jumping 2,300 years into the future. A data engineer named Dan Linstead is trying to solve the problem of business chaos, and he develops a system called Data Vault. And its design is going to sound, well, pretty familiar.
The first piece is the hub. A hub is super simple. It's like a birth certificate for a piece of data. Its only job is to say, hey, this business thing, this customer, this product, it exists, and it gives it a unique ID that never ever changes. That's it. No descriptions, no other details.
The second piece is the link, and the link's only job is to record a relationship between two hubs. This customer bought this product. This doctor treated this patient. It just captures the connection, the event, the interaction, nothing else.
And the third piece is the satellite. This is where all the descriptive, messy, changing details go. A customer's address, their phone number, their credit score. But here's the genius part. You never overwrite old information. Every single change just gets added as a new time-stamped record. So you get a perfect, unchangeable history, the life story of that hub.
Let's make this really concrete with a simple coffee mug. The core thing, the substance, is the mug itself. The fact that it is this mug, and not any other mug in the world. Its identity is fixed.
Now look at all this other stuff. Its color, where it is, the fact that it's chipped, whether it's hot or cold, full or empty, all of these things can change, right? But it's still the same mug.
In Aristotle's world, these are all just its accidents. They're what's true about the mug, but they aren't the mug itself. So, we've got the ancient philosopher's blueprint and the modern engineer's blueprint. Let's put them side by side, because this is the moment where everything just clicks.
Would you look at that? It is a perfect one-to-one match. The hub is substance. The link is relation. And the satellite is just a clever way of tracking accidents over time. This isn't just a similar idea. It is the exact same design discovered thousands of years apart by people working in completely different fields.
So you might be thinking, okay, that's a cool coincidence, but why does it matter? Well, it's so much more than a coincidence. It tells us something really profound about how we make sense of the world, whether we're using philosophy or code.
Just look at a customer's history in a satellite. In 2020, they live in Lyon. 2 years later, they're in Paris. Their phone number changes, their credit score goes up. These are all just changing accidents. But the customer's hub, their core identity, their substance, that stays the same. The satellite system perfectly proves the concept of an enduring substance, even when all its properties are in flux.
And the most incredible part is how they got here. Aristotle got there by observing the world and using pure logic. Lindstedt got there by studying how neurons work and trying to solve a really practical engineering problem. The fact that they took completely different roads and ended up at the exact same destination, well, that suggests this pattern isn't something we invented, it's something we discovered.
So how can we actually use this? This whole framework isn't just theory. It's a lens you can put on to see almost anything with way more clarity.
Try this little game right now. Pick up your smartphone. What's the substance? It's the phone itself, the physical object with its unique serial number. Now, what are its accidents? The color, how much battery is left, its location, and its relations? Well, it's owned by you, it's connected to Wi-Fi, and it was made by a company. See? You're already doing it, separating what's essential from what's just temporary.
And that's really the big takeaway. The greatest discovery here isn't Aristotle's model or Lindstedt's model. It's the convergence. It shows that any system that tries to honestly represent a changing reality is eventually forced into this same shape. It's like the structure of reality itself has its own rules.
So, when it all comes down to it, good engineering, just like good philosophy, is less about inventing something new and more about discovering a structure that was already there. And it leaves you with this really fascinating question. What other new ideas today are just ancient truths that we're finally stumbling upon again?